Hello, my friends. Today is June the 16th, and this is a psychic reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a reading that will cover the year to follow, approximately 6 to 10 minutes, sometimes longer. Bear with me if you can. I do psychic readings and I do healing work. I've been doing them for 38 years. I work out of my place in Albuquerque and I do internet readings. Check out my credits. This is a 4 card pull, as I said, a general energy card for the year, challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. The general energy card of the year is the Crone. So, what does the Crone ask you to reflect upon? Well, I think the Crone is that person who, gets tired, I think, of the petty and superficial and the disconnected and the unfeeling and the uncaringness of a lot of society, of a lot of what we face now, with a lot of cement at our feet and satellites and noise and buzz and things happening all around our heads, and people talking, and a lot of people just being very superficial, because it's very hard to be honest and real in our world. Uh, but the crone craves that part of themselves. They crave that, being in touch with their intuition, being in touch with their inner wisdom, being in touch with nature, being in touch with moon cycles, understandings of the emotional content of energies, the relationship content, the value of clarity, the value of how to, I think, release addictions with clarity, how to open up to one's pain and heal that energy with clarity and forgiveness and compassion that then is extended to others. I think the crone is, kind of the ultimate wise woman, the ultimate being who goes to find him or herself, can be a man or a woman, out in the wilderness, in essence, getting away from the yakety yak and the cement and the constant negativity and the constant barrage and the constant emotional upheaval and the constant, I want to, well, if they got, or their versus me, and why you have to fight, or it's all those big issues of just life in a place that's too busy, and where we forget ourselves and we forget our natures. I think the crone is a calling back to you, calling you back to remember yourself and go deeper in yourself, and touch something that's important to you, that's kind of itching at you, maybe even, really very much yelling at you to come toward me, come toward the mysticism, come toward the intuition, come toward the deep feeling centers of yourself, come toward the inner knowing that is psychic, that is deep, that is connected to spirit, that is connected in this body and connected to spirit. That, so that, all with all that being said, what's your particular challenge, June the 16th, people? Ace of Cups. Well, Ace of Cups, normally a beautiful time of celebrating all the love energy inside of yourself, all the senses of joy and pleasure and bliss and connection, all the senses of water, intuition, surrendering, letting go. There's a lot around water that says, phew, I cleanse, I cleanse, I cleanse. So, what's your challenge? I think for me, the most obvious piece is feeling possible love connections to somebody, feeling that want to merge on some sacred level. I mean, this can be, cups can be everything from sexual to sensual to mystical to sacred to heart centered mergence with energies, with the sacred. So we all want to be connected to the sacred on some level. So this is a card that says you're afraid to be sacred on some level. You're afraid to show your emotions on some level. You're afraid there's something underneath you that's saying maybe that you're not good enough, or maybe that you're lying and not being honest, or maybe that someone else is lying and not being honest, and you fear what that could mean. And there's just a a sense of being afraid to show your truth, whatever that truth can be, because maybe you don't even know what the truth is about what is keeping you from, I think, enjoying your life and joining with others, or joining with another, or even joining with yourself to appreciate and have more pleasure in life, and to trust your intuitions more, and to be more fluid in your relationships, and to not take things so personally, and learn how to surrender and let go, and go forward, not with all the often the pain and the wounds that sensitive people can face. And I think this is a card about being sensitive and not knowing how to face what is coming up for you. And there's a sense of really wanting to merge and feel the love of it, but just holding it back, or being afraid of it, or whatever is the issue. So what do you need to do about that? Well, Moose, self-esteem. You on a lot of deep levels know about your power, and you know what you need to forgive, and you know what you can be big about, and moose bellows themselves, bellows in the woods. When a moose is near, they're big, they're large energy. You don't forget them. They stomp around. Don't mess with a moose. They have a big voice, and they're like a whale. You can hear the presence of a moose from very far away. And so this is calling for you to be strong in yourself, to find your voice, and to have your voice, and to say what you need to say, and trust that you're good enough, and trust that you have the right purpose in mind. And I think that's what the crone talks about. It's like the crone goes inside and understands things on bigger levels, and your truth and your reality are important, and you cannot deny yourself, and you cannot let yourself go, and you cannot um, you know not have love in your life, and you want love to come into your life. So maybe you have to go into the woods and be the crone for a while. Maybe you have to get away from this, and step back, and go into a deep exploration of what is really keeping you from stepping into some kind of relationship that is calling you. Is it fear? Is it your own abandonment? Is it your sense of trust? Is it your sense of, baggage on either side? Is your sense of, you know, guilt and shame that still might be running you from past things that have happened? Is it the projections of the past that say, oh, well, that never happened, and it's never happened before, so why should it happen now? Is it that negation that comes until you look at yourself, and until you say, well, I don't want to live like that, I don't want to believe that, and I'm not going to live like that, and I'm going to stand up strong in myself, and I'm going to bellow what I need to bellow. I'm going to say what I need to say, and I'm going to have a strong stance and be a strong voice, and I'm not going to give my power away in this. And I think the crone is ultimately about taking back your power, and not letting things be, petty and superficial, but being honest and clear and strong boundaried and self-protective, but also self and other aware, with compassion, with love, with deep listening, with deep honoring. And I think the crone is all about learning those things. And so this is a time of really, I think, listening to yourself deeply, listening to the wisdom that comes from outside of yourself and inside of yourself, quieting your own mind. I love this kind of essence of the crone here. Quieting one's mind, listening deeply to magical beings. I see a little puppy here, I see a little baby here, I see an old man here, I see a lot of different creatures, energies that can come for positive affirming energies. And I think the crone is deep into that mysticism, is deep into that intuition, is deep into that magical response to life that says, well, I don't have to figure this out alone. There are plenty of beings who can help me. And I ask for the highest and the holiest of information to come into me and teach me and lead me back to myself, lead me back to my authenticity, lead me back to my spiritual connection to being, and sort out my life so my relationships become smoother and I become stronger, and I'm willing to go forward with my light and my love, and have true deep caring and tender and teaching relationships. Aho Matakwa.